This is the Fair Enough City podcast. Each week, myself, Dennis Len, and
me, Roger O'Sullivan,
spend an hour recapping the previous week's episodes of Fair City, Ireland's biggest TV soap opera.
Why do we do it?
I don't know, but it's a true test of faith, friendship, and mental endurance.
This is the last call for the Carrickstown Express. Hop on. Hoot hoot. Hoot hoot.
I didn't agree to that.
Italian breadsticks, jalapeno cheese spread, and a cherry blueberry cobbler.
Oh, what's a cobbler?
Oh, isn't that a bit like...
Isn't that the lad who makes footpaths?
Yeah.
A blueberry cobbler?
A blueberry cobbler.
Yeah. Cobbler. Bruce Grobbler. Great Liverpool goalkeeper before.
Really?
Yeah.
Bruce Grobbler.
Savage moustache as well.
Well, what type of moustache did he have?
He had Freddie Mercury's boyfriend's Jim. His
Jim
moustache.
Hutton's?
Yeah, Jim Hutton's moustache.
Wow.
And probably some of Jim Hutton's jumpers as well. Famed for his jumpers.
Jim Hutton or this other lad?
Do you know that everyone knew who Jim Hutton was because of jumpers before Freddie Mercury? Everyone thinks he's famous because he was Freddie Mercury's boyfriend, but it's actually because of the knitted wear that he had.
Really?
Yeah, famed up and down the aisles.
He's big into knitwear.
The British Isles.
Hey.
What?
You don't call them that, do you?
Of course I do.
The British Isles.
Hail Britannia.
Oh, what are you on about?
What episode are we on, Raj?
We're on episode 18.
18, which is episode 2 of season 2.
Oh, yeah, and if these episodes were years, correlatory to years, which they're not, our podcast would be old enough to drink alcohol.
How old would we be in dog years?
In dog years? Oh, you
old,
sweet son of a
dead,
bitch.
Probably.
I'm going to have to calculate that because...
What's the oldest dog in the world?
Oldest dog in the world? 152 dog years. That's just...
No way.
That's a guess.
That's like a fair
Okay, well, I'll check it up. You tell me what... our podcast would be 126 years old.
In dog years?
Yeah.
All right, but what's your question?
Okay, I think oldest dog.
And I just remind you there now that Eric is nearly pressed up against his last there. But poor old Eric, actually. Eric, our producer, he was at a wedding last night. Bit hungover today, so he is, old Eric.
Yeah, he looks, I would say, green.
He looks like a green ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a ghost with a translucent hue of green.
He's giving a very, very lackluster... Oh, no.
What we were talking about to Eric as well is that, considering there's no visuals here, we can just basically, like we could say, no, Eric, that you're just pressing your member up against the glass and he's gone mad.
and he's doing it.
He's not. Poor man is cradling his head in his hands because he's so hungover. But what was your question?
So how old in dog years do you think is the oldest dog? I said 152.
You know where I know, I can almost guess where it's from. 2 countries. It's either from Argentina or China.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it about them?
I don't know. Something built into me. So I would say the oldest dog is in dog years.
Yeah, in dog years.
Is I don't know. My times tables don't go up that far.
I'll you say a number. I'll divide it by 7.
I say the oldest dog is 24.
24.
Yeah.
24.
168.
168.
All right.
Oldest dog in the world.
What's your guess?
My guess is 22 years.
29.
29. Wow.
Everyone's a winner, baby. That's for sure.
The current. Well, where is it from?
Is it? I bet you it's an Australian cattle dog.
Who's reading whose notes now? You fucker.
That's not that Australian cattle dog called Maggie Bluey, is it? What kind of is it? No. My favourite dog in the whole world is an Australian. What are they called? An Australian Shepherd, Blue Pearl. They're kind of they look like weird dogs, but they're lovely.
Australian Shepherd dog, is it?
Australian Shepherd, yeah.
Australian Shepherd.
Yeah. No, you're googling this, so it's not too much fun for our listeners.
No.
Would you describe him? Describe him in great detail. What an Australian Shepherd dog
is. And this is correct.
It's kind of like that guy, yeah.
Okay, an Australian Shepherd dog looks like you took a kind of one of those lassie dogs, gave it the face of the kind of muzzle of a sheepdog, of a normal border collie.
And the seriousness of a primetime presenter.
Yeah, and then you cut that open and you stored a human inside.
Yeah.
The eyes are ridiculous.
It looks like Brian Dobson as a dog.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's about to deliver the sad news.
It's probably actually. Do you know what? If I get an Australian Shepherd, I'm going to call it Brian Dogson. If you don't mind.
Get out. I do mind. I mind.
So what kind of news do you have for this week? You're on the beat in Fair City.
Yeah.
Oh, we can reveal right now, right, that there's there's a lot of cast members following us now, but will protect their identities at all costs.
Remain anonymous.
But I do think it's worth saying that one of the funniest and most bizarre things happened to us this week.
Yeah.
Where a Fair City cast member on set sent us a video where he or she was saying "Spicy Chibes."
Yeah.
So I mean, would you thinking back now to the first episode when we were in my apartment to where we are now in this beautiful studio with old hungover Eric? Would you think that a Fair City cast member would have sent us a video going "Spicy Chibes"?
I never would have even imagined that would have happened. Now keep in mind that in that first episode we hadn't even had Spicy Chibes, so it would have been bizarre for me to have thought that was going to happen anyway.
Why did we decide on Spicy Chibes?
I think we're at a bit of inside podcasting here for you. I think what happened was we decided we were going to go to Ballincollig, which is would you call it a suburb?
It's a commuter hub.
Yeah, of Cork City. And we decided we'd just drive out there.
You refer to it as Mega City 1?
Yeah. No, that's what I call Limerick.
Limerick's Mega City 1, yeah.
Which we were in last night, but we'll get to that later. That's true.
What's your point? What's happening?
Well, you were the one telling us.
No, I wasn't. You're tricking me again.
No, Dennis. No, you.
This isn't this gaslighting thing, is it?
What? No. Have you been reading online again?
Do you know one of the most
That's forbidden.
Do you know one of the most annoying phrases in the world to me is
what?
Go out and turn on the gas. That was what my dad used to say on holidays, and he'd say, "Wait out there for 20 minutes. I must talk to your mum." Isn't that terrible?
What?
Yeah. So that was his code for him having sex with mum.
Really?
No, I made it all up.
Wait, start to finish.
What?
What?
That always finishes. All right, come on. What's your news?
My news is...
I'm after giving them loads.
Okay, big news
If the audience were a load of dirty crows, I'm after giving them loads of heels of bread.
Do you want to hear what my dad did during the week?
Go on, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is a bit of news here for you. I was going for a driving lesson.
Is this related to Fair City? It is.
Yeah, I know. Okay. It gets around to it. I was using my dad's car. So...
Here, will you go and turn on the gas there? I'll just have a chat with myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that what you call it?
Are you in a relationship by any chance?
Oh yeah, I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
Who are you going out with?
It's my girlfriend.
Oh, really? Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Does she do anything?
She's actually did I not mention this before?
No.
She's a doctor.
I get out of town.
Yeah, no,
she's
she
not.
is. Yeah,
is she?
Is, yeah.
Unbelievable.
She's an anaesthetist.
Is that one of those things where by association, I don't know if you've ever heard this, that you then become a doctor as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's a doctor by way of relationship.
Will you ask her tonight? Does she want to turn on the gas?
No, what I'll do is I'll ask the other people who in her apartment.
Her family.
Do you guys want to go turn on the gas?
Ask her dad. Will you go and turn on the gas?
Turn on the gas there. Hey, here, go
here,
out there.
Mr. and Mrs. Doctor, will you go and turn on the gas there?
Will you go out there for 2 hours? Turn on the gas there. For
2 hours? What are you doing, you fucking dope? 2 hours inside playing Pokemon Red, I'd say, for about an hour and 55 minutes.
2 hours there. Wait outside for 2 hours.
Fool.
But what was I talking about? Oh, yeah.
There'd want to be about 45 Rogers in that case.
Oh, my dad was buying...
Would you?
What's that in dog years?
Would you have a threesome with yourself?
Of course I would.
Would you?
Yeah. 2 of me.
Would you share the same consciousness?
I tell you, we'd both know what we were going to do. We'd be on a similar wavelength.
Would you feel the other person about to go?
Oh, that is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Because I assume, like, if you get cloned or whatever. Actually, I don't know. Should we tell the listeners this? But you know
we're making clones.
You know that thing about you where you can't put water on you or feed you after midnight.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember we did that last summer and there was like, oh my god,
Jesus.
those versions of you that were living in my attic.
They were like crankier, edgier, I'd say.
Oh god, they were so annoying. They were the biggest pack of fact-checking pricks I've ever come across.
We never got to we never got to the story with my dad.
Oh, you're not going to believe this, but Eric is signalling there for the end of the intro. So can you say it in about 3 seconds?
Yeah.
What did your dad do?
My dad bought chips from a petrol station. They were shit chips, but he started feeding them to crows, and then all these crows started coming around him. So he didn't eat a single one. He went back in and bought a second packet of the shit chips again.
To feed more crows?
To feed more crows.
Crowman.
Crowman, yeah.
Right, so this is who I actually a little bit worried, I have to say. Did we get the order right of who's taking which episode? Just to fill people in again on the structure. We take an episode, we lead the charge every second episode. I can't, actually it's so
too confusing.
No, it's not. It's really simple, but I can't explain anything. I'm terrible at explaining stuff. You're taking episode 1 and 3 this week, is it?
And no.
2 and 4?
No, actually, you're right. It's 1 and 3. Yeah, I take 1 and 3. You take 2 and 4.
Serious?
I can't remember.
I thought I was 1 and 3.
I'd say. I'd say you're right. Hey, listen, I've notes on all of them, so it's great.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you little.
Do you not take notes on all of them?
Yeah, I do.
Are you? They're hardly notes.
No, I actually write the episodes that I don't do in invisible ink. Yeah.
That's very good.
And then I put sea monkeys in my eyes, and then I can see it.
Semen in your eyes.
Did you ever
What?
own sea monkeys?
Yeah.
What the hell are sea monkeys? They're just some sort of horrible.
They're a type of prawn.
They're not.
They're a type of micro prawn, I think.
Really?
I don't know.
Ah, you making that up? I was excited to learn that.
No, I think it is. I don't know. I can't fact check it now, but
Your time's running there like mad as well.
what?
Oh, who's going first? Me?
You're episode 1, are you? Go on.
Oh dear God! All right, come on. Get your description. Get your description.
Okay, well here this episode.
Are you making this up?
No. This episode.
Where does this come from?
This comes from RT.
Oh, not those wieners up in RTE. What happened to entertainment.ie?
Unfortunately,
They've stopped doing it.
Well, it seems so. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna get onto them. I'm gonna email them and
Here.
ask them.
We're gonna picketing them.
Oh no, that's a bit far. I'm sure
Entertainment.ie.
they're lovely people.
God, I'm telling you, if there's any strike breakers up there, if anyone crosses that picket, we'll have the brown shirts in on them.
Do you know my wait? That's the opposite.
Yeah.
Do you know my great granddad was a brown shirt fascist.
Brown snivelling shirt.
Yeah, and I'm the complete other one. I'd put you in the gulag. Anyway,
You're a red shirt.
I am.
All right, come on, give me a description.
Okay, so this was broadcast. Episode 1 this week was broadcast on Sunday.
Have you been timing this?
No.
Oh, for the love of God.
I'm going to start timing it though. I as soon as I'm done reading the description.
All right, we'll say it goes to about 13 minutes.
What?
Well, no, this is all part of it. My 15 minutes has been happening for the last 3 minutes.
No way. That's unfair. No. What?
Why are you sticking up for me?
Am I?
Just click the timer there, and we'll
Okay.
say go up to 13 minutes.
Okay. Bob redeems himself by organising a wonderful wedding surprise for Renee. Will tries to reach a truce with Mairead before she leaves. Jane's determined to clear Tommy's name. That's Sunday, the 4th of November.
That was some trailer there, Raj. Could you say that with any less enthusiasm?
I'm dying. I'm dying sick.
All right, so scene 1, we're in the street. It's Renee and Bob.
Good stuff.
Renee is mad at Bob, so that kind of happens
What?
every second week.
She's not, is she?
Yeah, she is, yeah. Renee hates...
Hey, what's she mad at him about? Because the last time it was the wedding, so it can't be that again, really.
It's, what is it again? It's not the wedding. It's not that... No, because it did a story before that Jackie tried to plan some of the wedding and Bob went behind Renee's back. So this time it's, Jackie planned some of the wedding and Bob went behind her back. It's the same storyline 3 weeks later.
No way.
It is. So I'll say it. In this episode, I took kind of alternative notes. So it's more of a kind of a diary of how I'm doing, really, and what I think of things. Anyway,
No.
Renee hates Bob, and they shouldn't get married. There's a huge skeleton on the front door of the unnamed
I know
supermarket.
that. They didn't get rid of the...
When was this broadcast? The 1st of November, is it?
4th of November.
The 4th of November. All
Yeah.
the Halloween decorations are still
They
up.
are, yeah, everywhere.
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 So yeah, basically that's what happened. Renee is still mad, just in case we didn't know. And I also noticed in this as well that there's I'd say a million extras.
Oh, the most ever.
There's so many pedestrians all over the place, and also there is. Oh no, it's not in this episode. Doesn't matter. That's great. On to scene 2. We're in Jane. There's Tommy and Jane. Tommy is having toast for breakfast, and I noted that I think he accidentally turned it up to about a 7 because it's burnt.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you that when I was watching this, I really, really wanted toast.
Yeah. Did you smell toast? Because that's different.
No, but one side of my face was so numb because I wanted toast so much.
You're probably just tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd ignore it.
Okay. I did go home and I made toast immediately.
Did you notice the butter on the table here with Jane and Tommy sitting down?
No.
It was like mashed potatoes. It was disgusting.
I did notice this.
You just said you didn't?
Yeah, but then I remembered I did.
It was disgusting. What the hell was that?
Yeah, somebody's ruined.
Somebody's been in the butter.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you think they used it for?
Jane has a Simpsons mug. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I love the
Isn't that much
Simpsons.
more interesting than actually describing what's happening in the scene?
In a way.
In a way.
Well, I'd like to know what happened in the scene though.
Jane and Tommy have breakfast, and I just mentioned some things about butter. Is that pretty cool?
Fine, yeah.
Scene 3, we're in Vino's.
I can't believe Eric does me in every 2 seconds, and then you come with no notes, and he hasn't even done anything.
Eric's having a hard time because from what I hear, he was up on the tables again at the wedding.
Oh no.
Yeah. He's gone to the bathroom there now, but he was supposedly helicoptering, I think. Scene 3, we're in Vino's. It's Robbie, Haley, and Nora. Haley and Robbie have a thing going. Don't have a thing going. Robbie's ex, Carol, warned her off Robbie, and Haley apologizes to Robbie for the other night, and she says that she ran off because he came on too strong.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, yeah?
Good problem to have.
Scene 4, we're just off that little restaurant, Vino's. We're in Vino's kitchen. And
interesting scene here.
Very interesting. Callum, Oisín, and Paul are in the kitchen. That definitely operates as a kitchen.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a kitchen, right? Because it has little bowls with vegetables in them.
Well, I think you're forgetting another aspect that signifies it is a kitchen, which is the Dean, if he's ever in there, he's dressed like a chef.
Oh, that's it. I knew there was something.
Yeah. Have you ever? There's a place in Cork City that sells uniforms for jobs. Have you ever thought of going in there and buying one of those uniforms just for the laugh?
Just to walk around, say I'm a chef.
Yeah.
How much does a chef outfit cost? Probably cost a pound.
Oh, probably I'd say €80. Would you say?
What would you do? Would you go Swedish accent or Italian accent?
I would do French. But I'd put it on, and I would, like you said, I'd walk around and just be like, everyone thinks I'm a chef.
One of the most interesting things you ever told me about Italian accents and all the rest of it was when you climax afterwards, you go, "That's a mad al mio day." Was that you?
What happens in scene 4?
Right? Callum and Oisín, they're half brothers, and Callum walks out of work because he doesn't want to work with Oisín, and he's a great line to Oisín. He says, "Liar, perv, freak."
Yeah. He's got them all.
What's going on in that scene? Well, Oisín sent a spy camera to
Jane's house,
who's his father's ex-wife.
Yeah.
To set up his father's ex-wife's current love, who at a previous time lived in her attic and set up spy cameras all over the place. Is that true? Or did he live in a different attic?
A different attic, I think. But I think the rest of it's...
Yeah, close enough, anyway.
Fine, yeah.
Scene 5, we're in Dean's gaff. Poor old Dean. He's still got a load of people living in there.
Oh, I actually think Dean... Like, what is he charging these people?
I also don't understand this, right? Because Dean is there, and Mairead and Will are now separated because Will was on the men for 18 years.
Yeah.
And Dean says this little snide comment, and he says, "Look, she's fully dressed, all 4 feet on the floor." Is that what he said? All 4 feet on the floor?
I think he did. I think you're right.
What the hell does that mean?
First
of all, she doesn't have 4 feet.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. But he's saying, "Look, I'm not riding her on the floor." That is what he's saying.
What?
Yeah, because you remember last week, Will was convinced that Dean and Mairead were bunking off.
Yeah, and he got it wrong. But how did you decipher that all 4 feet on the floor means that I'm not riding her on the floor?
So he's saying that.
Explain it to me in explicit detail.
I think he's saying that if they were riding, they'd be up in the air.
Oh, have you ever worn hooves on your hands during sexual intercourse? And neighed like a horse, or was that just an ass?
But what happened in the next scene?
Scene 6. We're in a community centre. It's Jane and Damien. Jane tells Damien that Tommy's telling the truth.
Stop bringing up my sex.
These are my sex. These are very complicated scenes.
I can't make
there's so much background info on this.
Mane or tail?
Jane tells...
Jane or tail?
Eric, kick him out.
What would you do with Mairead?
What kind of a question is that?
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, what would you kick her out of your house?
Jane tells Damien that Tommy is telling the truth, right? The truth is, Damien is... Oh, Christ almighty. Damien is married to Caoimhe. They have a daughter together. Tommy is Caoimhe's father, yeah? Is that right? And Tommy was into the old spy cameras before, but he's left that all behind him. But now he's getting set up. Damien thinks that Tommy did order the spy camera. He didn't. Oisín did it to set him up. And Jane's just trying to clear the air.
Do you know what that was just like there, what you were doing? It was a bit like when you're in secondary school and you go, "Oh my God, tests are so easy. I just have to remember all this information." And sure, I'm constantly remembering information. So I should be able to get 100% on all tests.
How'd your exams go in secondary school?
Well, that's my point. Is then you start reading through the things and you go, "Wait, and Jane is who? And Tommy's his kids."
All right. So Jane says, "Please don't tell Caoimhe because Tommy will never see Caoimhe ever again." And Damien can't tell Quiva, luckily enough, because she's away at another conference.
Also,
where, like, down a fucking mine or something?
Yeah, and also, I think a bigger reason for why he can't tell her is, up until this point, we've been led to believe they're not even on speaking terms.
Yeah, so I don't know how Damien... That's very good. Very good point.
Yeah.
How would he contact her? A fake email address. Scene 7, we're in Vino's. It's Jackie, Huey and Bob. Poor old Bob in this deserves his own post of a screenshot. Did you see how distraught old Bob is in this?
Oh, yeah.
He's so distraught. He does that thing where you lift your shoulders above your ears and your coat comes up to your nose.
He's properly sad in this.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have one additional note to the previous scene?
Yeah.
Quiva auto-completes, or is in the MS Word dictionary as a name. And I didn't think it would be.
Brilliant.
Yep.
That's great.
No?
You know what? That was cracking, yeah. I'd say there'll be people doing the rounds tonight telling people that.
Eric...
Stand out till Tuesday.
Eric's doing that look.
Huey says... Wait, Eric. Huey, we're in the scene, and Bob is looking distraught because Renee's still mad at him. She's always mad at him. And Huey... or Bob says, I'm after getting Renee a lovely present to make up with her. Huey says, I hope it's not a mini break in a hotel. And Bob's like, it is a mini break. Yeah. Personally, I would love a mini break in a hotel.
Good gift, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd love a mini break. Where'd you like to go on a mini break?
Oh, we should go on a mini break to Wexford.
I was thinking Azerbaijan myself.
Maybe. Actually, well, before Anna and myself were deciding where we would go on.
Who?
Well, my girlfriend.
Oh, your girlfriend. You have...
I do have... I have more than one, but she's the main one. But we were deciding where we'd go, and she was saying, "Oh well, would you like to go, or how about we go to Estonia?" And I said, "Oh well, you know, we'll have to organise it, see what flights are like." And then she goes, "Estonia, or we can go to Kerry." There are the two options.
And what's your point?
But you can't go. Let's go to Estonia, and then actually, instead of the former Soviet bloc country, why don't we go to Kerry?
What's your flaming point here?
I'm just saying.
You're saying Estonia's better than Kerry?
Yeah.
Do you?
I would think that'd be self-evident.
Where do you think's the nicest place in Kerry?
Killarney.
Cork border, I'd say. It's you, you'd go down to the North Kerry shifters.
Here. Best thing about Kerry. Road back to Cork.
Oh, you wily fucker. Scene 9, we're in Paul's. I'm nearly going to run out of time. Hardly.
Yeah, you are.
You're delighted. Oh God Almighty! I don't know. I can't.
You ran out of steam before time. There.
Yeah, really. I'm just skipping ahead to see if there's anything.
Do you care to explain to them why you feel so shit today?
Why? What are you flaming talking about? Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday, I dressed up as Shawn Michaels, a Heartbreak Kid, in a costume that when I put it on after I assembled it all together, I did feel like I had made a huge mistake and I had to then go out in that costume. But pretty accurate though, pretty accurate costume.
Very accurate.
From around the 1994-5, I think, era of Shawn Michaels, if anyone's have looked at. And I had a few drinkies. May have got completely destroyed.
A few subs.
May have got completely destroyed. And then on Saturday, which was yesterday, we went to Limerick. And we did. I hosted the competition down there, which was 10 comedians, 10 minutes, and that was over at started about 7:30, was over about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then we had 2 hours to drive back. Yeah. And then my car, I thought it was going on fire. That's the end of episode 1.
They don't have a clue what happened in that episode.
Do you know what happened in episode 1?
I do, because I watched it.
You were saying last week, right, that you watched them in reverse order by accident.
Yeah.
Which must have been terribly confusing.
It was.
And you made the point that episode 1 really doesn't matter in Fair City.
No, it doesn't.
And I think I agree with it.
Okay.
All right.
I hope you agree with that.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling mentally after that one?
I feel like you just fucked it away.
How dare you? How flipping dare you?
I feel like you were turning up to a county final and you were beat before you got onto the pitch.
But what is this J thing? People keep knocking on about. What is it?
It was in the notes. Eric gave us notes to appeal to a wider
demographic.
demographic.
Hurling and all this stuff. What the hell is hurling?
Well, I love stickball. I always have. I played stickball growing up, and I still play it now. But there's no evidence of that, though.
We used to play rounders with a huge pallet and a beach ball.
What?
Yeah. So you'd get into like it's not perpetual motion, but
spin, like a kind of shot putter spin type.
Yeah, and you get into that, and when you get up to maximum velocity, then you throw the beach ball at it. But you nearly rip the arms off you like swinging around the pallet. All right,
this
so
episode.
can you relax a little bit after too much sherbet not today? Sherbet.
Oh, I'm gonna get a sherbet dip when we go out for spicy chippies later.
Do you know what? I one of the most biggest eureka moments for me? Well, I don't know if eureka is quite the word, but it's that it's sherbet. And
Sherbet?
And not sherbet.
No.
Yeah, it's sherbet.
And
There's no R in it.
And it's
no second R.
It is a tennis bat, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Thank God.
Okay, so episode 2 is broadcast Tuesday, 6th November.
Yeah, and I want to say something that I noted very interesting. On RT, they used the same description for this episode as they did for the previous episode.
The exact same.
Exact same description.
So they just couldn't be bothered writing it.
Even they're admitting that the episodes can be quite similar sometimes.
All right, head up to RT, bust in the doors, head into who's that lad who presents the news around lunchtime? Black hair. He's the lad who keeps getting caught when it's live. Remember he was doing his makeup there once, and they goes, "We're live," and he goes, "What?"
Is that
What's that guy's name?
Angus?
Oh yeah, Angus McGrana, is it?
Yeah.
All right, head into Angus McGrana. Punch him in the back of the head. No, don't do that to Angus McGrana. Give him a big hug and say, Angus, please, give me the descriptions. Where are they?
And he says, Bob redeems himself by organising a wonderful wedding surprise for Renee. Will tries to reach a truce with Mairead before she leaves. Jane's determined to clear Tommy's name. Same description again.
Do you sometimes forget that we're even doing a podcast? Or like that this reality exists for us where we have to do this podcast every Sunday?
Oh yeah, like halfway through the week, I go, oh, what am I doing this weekend?
Sometimes when I finish the podcast as well, I'm like,
sometimes when you finish
the podcast.
Oh.
Get. Sometimes I finish the podcast, I think to myself like, oh, that's cool, now it's over. Do you know, like, because that's
forever.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh no, I have to watch Loads of Fair City now.
You big fool.
Here, get on with it, will you? Do you have your timer started?
Oh, fuck.
You
Yes.
start it?
No, I started it. Scene 1. We're outside, we're on the street. Jackie asks...
You're sounding very heavy today, Raj. You?
I'm sick.
You're bassy.
I'm very sick. But Dennis told me that I'm not allowed days off. And when I asked Eric if maybe we could do something, maybe Dennis could do all the episodes.
Eric was at a wedding last night, right? Up on the table with his toddler out, and he's in here today. Sorry, Eric. What was your point?
I imagine that Eric's toddler is...
he's gonna... He might actually come into us if you...
He already looks very mad. Eric's toddler, I think, is a microphone.
We were doing I was hosting that gig last night, and some guy shouted from the audience that he had a small penis for some reason. Not really sure why he did that, but afterwards I was talking to that group, and we were just chatting away to him. And your man for about 5 minutes was just telling me who he was and like that he liked the show and all this. And then right at the end of it, he just goes, I don't actually have a small penis. So it was like just 5 minutes of chit chat just to get out across.
But this has made you think he definitely did.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So
who needs a penis?
Well. I was thinking recently.
Does your girlfriend mind that you have Ken doll syndrome, where you've no genitalia?
That's why it takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, what would I give up my genitalia for?
You come and you just get a pain in your stomach. Go on. What would you give up your genitalia for? Do you think that this might be a dodgy question? No.
Why?
Go on.
Oh, but in the end, I pretty much conceded nothing.
What about a loving relationship?
No.
Go on.
No, I need.
Is there any? Is there nothing that you would like if?
Well, I said this.
If someone granted you a wish, right, but you had to get rid of your member, was there anything?
No.
There's no wish.
No. Do you know what? Though
what about unlimited money or something?
No.
No.
No. The no unlimited penis. I did.
You wouldn't swap like about two crap wanks a week for unlimited money.
No.
So scene 2.
So I'm still in scene 1.
Oh yeah, go on.
Okay, so scene 1, right? We're outside. Jackie asks Huey if Jesus, I'm 5 minutes in. Jackie asks Huey.
You don't have a peanut of this done yet.
Do you have your homework done or not?
Stop wasting the class's time and just tell us you didn't do it.
Jackie asks Huey if he wants to go away for the weekend, and he's not so sure about it because he's worried about the business, and he thinks it's going down the gutter. And Cass arrives over to interrupt them, and he says that he wants his chess timer because he said that, I don't know, they play chess or something.
Cass, who plays an old lad,
one of my favourite characters.
He's a well-travelled dude.
What?
He's a well-travelled
character.
Dude.
Yeah.
He says he's travelled all over the world.
I get the impression that he would have lived for a time in Peru or something. Probably, like that. Yeah.
But after the World War II.
What? That's Argentina.
Some of them went to Peru.
So anyway, really?
Mm-hmm. Well, South America has a haven.
You've some Nazi
You know there's a load of O'Sullivans out there, actually. What?
You've a Nazi out there playing pan flute, do you?
Here, I'll tell you something. My dad, he's a big man into genealogy, right?
Yeah.
And he's created a massive family tree. It was more of a family tree garden. That
was good.
Thank you. He traced it across, and may have found an old German.
Oh no!
Yeah, so he stopped looking that way and he went back again.
probably a good move. The Deutschland.
Here, come on.
Okay, so Cass.
What scene are we on?
Oh, scene 1.
Scene 1. Are you 10 minutes in? We're on scene 1.
Yeah, Cass tells Huey that the business is stale, and he doesn't buy any sandwiches at McCoy's because he's been eating this vegan avocado spread that Harmony's turned him onto. Jackie agrees and tells Huey he needs to modernise McCoy's or they're going to go under. Scene 2, Eric and Dara just having an old chat. Dara works as a bouncer. We're in the unnamed shop, by the way. Dara works as a bouncer. They set that up. And Doug comes over to say hi to them. And Erica smiles but walks away because she's not too sure what to make of Doug
What's
anymore.
happening in this? Is Dara interested in Eric? Because I thought that was put to bed at some point.
Well, I think that Dara was having a go with Farah, and then that didn't go anywhere. So I think he's just open. He's just an open human being, and he just wants to see, what kind of
what's coming Dara's way. That's what he's saying.
yeah. And but
He's saying,
Erica,
Carrickstone, here I am. Come take me.
But I think Erica does fancy Dara a good bit. I'd say she's.
And what about poor old Dugwald?
I'd say she liked Douglas. A few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But then she was just totally put off when he was up and down.
When he put on the leather jacket. He was being a hard man.
Yeah, and she was like, "Listen, I've had enough of hard men. I don't want one. I want a soft lad."
Do you know what? I actually just connected the dots there on something now. Didn't you buy a leather jacket like a week ago?
Well,
and a chain that had a skull in it.
Well, yeah, but that's the way I dress.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
a bit of a tough.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a tough lad.
You're a bit of a tough cunt.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'd say. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't put it like that, but I am a tough cunt.
Who were the? There was lads in this before. They were called the TTFs. No, TTCs. two tough cunts. Who were they?
That was the two of us.
Hey. Go
on. I'm on scene 2, and I have 5 minutes.
Oh,
left.
for the love of God! You can't do it line by line in your notes. You have to flick ahead.
I'm so sick. The Erica. That's what I was going to say. Is that I have a fan theory here, fan canon.
Is this studio? This studio is probably airtight, so there's probably like you were
going to get it.
Roger flew going around the place.
Erica, hey, you'd like a bit of my.
Oh, shut up!
See, Erica.
Big Egypt.
Erica was. I have a theory that Erica only moved on to Doug because at the time she thought, from an outsider's perspective, that Dara was trying to get with Farah. Yeah?
Right. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no input, thanks. Scene 3, nothing happens. Jane's house, they're planning revenge. Scene 4, Paul's house.
They're planning lengthy revenge. No need to focus on that.
Yeah. Scene 4, Paul's house. Charlotte stays over. Paul hates Charlotte. O'Sheen's lazy. Calman.
No, that's not what it says. It's a lazy. You did an Italian accent.
Yeah. No, I actually said O'Sheen is a lazy ass, and Paul tells him
his ass isn't lazy.
To get work to cover for
O'Sheen's a lovely ass.
Callum and O'Sheen remind me of Liquid and Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid series, where they're the same DNA. They share DNA, but they're
Can I tell you something?
opposites.
I think I actually prefer Liquid Snake.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Well, do you want to know something? In the show, right? In the video game Metal Gear Solid, the whole way through, the conceit is that Liquid Snake has the inferior genes, and Solid Snake has the superior genes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Solid Snake, I think I'm getting this right, that's why Solid Snake beats him. But then in the end, it turns out they do the genetic test, and it turns out that Liquid Snake was actually the superior one. So it was actually the mindset that allowed Solid Snake to.
Wait, I just have one question for you.
Oh, don't do this today.
Right. Let's say we're looking for the writers team come in, whoever's in charge of it. Let's say it's Margaret, right? Margaret comes in. She says, "All right, guys, we need a new character. We need a new snappy character. Roger, give me your thoughts. Who's the new snappy character that's coming on to Carrickstone? What family does he fit into? Who's his dad? Who's his wife? or she? Whatever."
Okay.
All right. Give me a name.
The family.
We'll do this every
Hubert.
Hubert. Okay. Grand.
Hubert is a talking llama.
No, he's not. It has to be a real.
It has to be
person.
a human.
Yeah.
Okay. Hubert,
grand, yeah.
Hubert is a Spanish student
Okay.
Right? Who's come to live with Bob and Renee on an exchange.
I knew it was going to be connected to Bob
But-
because you picked the name Hubert.
But wait. Here's where it gets interesting.
All right, so he lives with Bob and Renee.
Yeah, and he's
What
the
age is he?
exchange
What age
Spanish
is he?
student. He's 20.
All right.
Right? But here's the thing.
If this turns into some weird fantasy.
No. Fuck off. Hubert's not a Spanish exchange student.
Yeah.
He's actually just a 20-year-old college student from Ireland.
From Maynooth.
Yeah, and he's worked the system by forging papers saying he's a Spanish student, so he can live in Bob and Renee. He can get 3 months living with Bob and Renee.
And who catches him out? Do you think? Who's the person who catches that he's not?
I think Cristiano's actually Brazilian, is he?
No, they're from Chile, are they?
Oh, okay. Then in that case, Cristiano tries to speak Spanish to him, and Hubert shits himself. He's like, "Oh fuck."
All right, cool. Hubert, he sounds great.
That actually was pretty good.
Was it?
What? Oh, how long? Oh no, we only
How many minutes?
2 minutes left, and I have 20 scenes. We're in Carol's house. Stuff happens.
What does that work out as in dog years?
Oh, shut up. Scene 6. Jackie's cleaning up rubbish. Cass, Anto, and
Cleaning up
Leo.
this rubbish, I'd say.
Hey, Cass, Anto, and Leo are chatting to her. She's saying they're trying to drum up business in McCoy's, and they tell her that they should get Anto to do gigs, and Leo will play the guitar. And he's the Don McLean of Darrendale.
Do you like Don McLean?
Who's Don McLean?
Don McLean is what band was he was in the Clash?
Well, no, he
No,
wasn't.
he wasn't. Is Don McLean American Pie?
I think so, maybe, because they sing American Pie later. Oh my god!
Yeah, he's American Pie.
Just seen a picture of Don McLean, and he's an interesting thing. Is he dead?
Don McLean has been on the tanning beds. That's all
Is he
I'll say.
dead?
He is. No, he's not
Oh,
dead.
that's so unfortunate because I made fun of his appearance, and I don't like doing that about people that are still alive. If he'd been dead, I would have tore him to shreds, though. So scene 8, we're in Paul's house. Paul storms in looking for Oisin because he never turned up to work. Paul wonders if Oisin has been there having sex with Charlotte upstairs all day. And then Jane calls round to follow up on Paul being angry earlier because she saw him in a scene I didn't discuss being angry. Scene 9, oh jeez, this is tight. Station house.
Oh, you know American Pie, that song. Do you like American Pie? I bet you hate
I
it.
hate that song, yeah.
Do you hate it just because people
No, I really do hate
killed
it.
it?
No, I really hate it.
But it's inspired by the deaths of Buddy Holly, Richard Valens, and J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, in the plane crash.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, in the name of God, it's inspired by that.
Do you
isn't
know,
it?
I think Buddy Holly's guitarist, he was obviously a guitarist as well, but I think I'm getting this right, that one of his guitarists was meant to be on that plane, but because he was sick, instead he decided that he'd drive to the location that they were going to play gigs in, drive across country that was going to take 20 hours or something, and they like all laughed at him and said, "You're so stupid, like that's such a ridiculous thing to do, like the flight's going to take us only a few hours."
Wait, was that Waylon Jennings?
Oh yeah, this is your fact.
Yeah. Waylon Jennings gave up his seat,
Wow.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah?
Waylon Jennings is a legend.
1 minute left.
Look at this. McLean's original work. This is from Wikipedia.
Listen, right?
McLean's
okay,
wait.
that's grand.
McLean's,
right? That's fine.
McLean
That's fine.
Sold
that's
the
grand.
American Pie manuscript for $1,205,000.
That is smart. I'd write a second one. Scene 16.
What would you call it?
We're in a car.
American Tart.
Oh, shut up. We're in a car. We've
30
never
seconds.
before been in a car. Jackie chat.
Have we not?
Oh, fucking fine. Fuck scene 16. We're on scene 18 now. Jane has come to visit Tommy in his hotel. Oh, by the way, Tommy's moved out. He couldn't afford 2 weeks' rent, but now he's living in a hotel constantly. She meets Sean earlier.
Yeah, where did Sean come from?
Yeah, Sean is somebody's son or something. And you know yourselves what happened in the episode.
Sum up the episode in one word. All right, so that's the end of episode 2.
I really feel like
You fudged that one, mate. You fudged it. Threw it under the bus. You waited for the bus and then you just jumped out in front of the bus. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really bad.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah, but I liked this week's episodes, so I feel like I'm not doing them justice.
No,
I'm sick.
I think you've got a bit of magpie syndrome as well. Cause
What's magpie syndrome?
My laptop is brighter than your laptop for our notes, and you keep looking at my own because it's a bit brighter. So I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to hang tinfoil from string around the studio, and then it'll keep you from looking over the garden wall of my notes.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, I don't know if it's true or not. The magpie syndrome isn't even a thing. But you did make a nest out of spoons, so...
Why do you think magpies are, like... Why
Mad
do you
for
think
shiny
that-
things.
Yeah.
It's probably to do with impressing their mates, I assume. That's an entire
Their friends or
no, the lads like
the lads. Yeah. Here, lads, look at this.
Do you know magpies make the most annoying noise in the world as well?
What is it? That's not true.
It is. They sound like someone like asking, "What did you say?"
Do you know? Do you know the rhyme?
Are you need to go to the hospital?
But I'm going out with a doctor. I'm fine.
All right. So what's the episode of that one? Or what's the title of that one?
I'm very sick.
Come on, what's the title of that one?
The title of that one.
Did someone feed you after midnight again? You better not be one of the weird clones.
Why are these pustules bursting out of my back?
On to episode 3.
Metal Gear City.
On to episode 3. This is broadcast on Wednesday, 7th of November. If you can run out of Angus McGrane's dressing room, run along, meet Sharni Violan, say something to her in Irish, like, Call us and then start screaming at her and going, God, where's the description?
Who's that?
Sharni Violan is, I think it's Sharni Violan. She is the newsreader on 6 o'clock news, I think.
Is that the one you have a crush on?
Oh, can you give it a flippin' break?
What?
What, do you think I just like every woman that I see or something?
Pretty much.
Not likely.
Do you remember that day that we were driving around and you crashed 3 times from looking at women?
That was because those women were wearing very reflective high-vis gear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I was asking you, because I was practicing for my driving test, I was asking you if that's a fault, and you said no. And then I failed the driving test because of you.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for looking at women. All right, come on. Read me the description there.
Tommy is, they got it right this time, it's a new description. Tommy is a reluctant accomplice as Jane springs her trap on Paul. Robbie steps in to defend Haley when Carol vents her anger.
Right, now, I want to start off this with an unexpected...
You.
What?
Go on.
What's wrong with you now?
Your unexpected things are always, oh, look, I'm such a laugh, I took no notes.
Oh, you're a rotten apple when you're sick, I swear to God.
I'm sour, am I?
What
I'm a sour woman.
All right, so I was just commenting on that there's probably the biggest juxtaposition of any start of any Fair City I've ever seen.
Go on.
Where there's a big fluffy dog walking down the road.
Yes.
They do a close-up on the dog's face, right? As if he's going to play an integral part of this episode. Or he could be doing something. He might be the new gangster, you know?
Yeah.
Selling pedigree chum out the back of fucking
He's
Beano's.
Hubert.
He's Hubert.
He's talking llama.
Here, you're not going to get a talking animal in a show like. Who would do that?
It would be pretty shit.
Go on, man.
I was going to say that this reminded me of another story about my dad. Same day he's feeding those crows with the chips. A lovely brown dog walked by him, and he starts petting the dog immediately and chatting to the man who owns the dog.
The dog starts going, get out.
Run! And he's petting him away. My dad absolutely loves dogs. We have a dog of our own, Sheba.
And crows.
Yeah, and crows as well.
Crow man.
But he was stroking the dog and he was telling me about it later. He goes, yeah, and I met a dog. That's the way he says it. I met a dog. And the dog was lovely. And I was chatting away.
Is that an accurate interpretation or an impersonation of your dad?
It's not far off, yeah. Well, my dad has no teeth, so it's a bit more incomprehensible than that.
That's why he likes crows.
I know your pain. Yeah.
I too am of beak.
I too have a hardened gum turned into an orange beak.
Did you say your mother listens to this?
Yeah, she does.
Great.
No, she'd agree. But he goes, yeah, I was chatting away to the dog then. And then
Wait a minute. Does your mother have black wings?
Yeah.
And feathers?
Yeah, your point.
And loves chips out of petrol stations? Oh, yeah.
But my dad was petting the dog, and then he said, and then the owner came over and was chatting to the owner about dogs, but he had no time for dogs. What a cunt.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's a close-up of a white fluffy dog, and then we cut, and there's a close-up on his face, and then we cut to Tommy and Jane inside in bed after, I assume, having a bit of sex.
I listed here that they were post-coitally discussing the progress of the destruction of the Brennan clan.
Well, I said they're either after waking up or they're after sex, both of which are equally enjoyable. Isn't there nothing better than waking up and you've nothing to do with it?
I think one of the most depressing things is the
for
fact...
fuck's sake. Go on, yeah, bring it all back down again.
No, it's one of the most annoying things, so I'll say, is that you can't be awake to enjoy the sensation of sleep.
Oh, thank God you finished it like that. What did you put the timer on there?
Yeah, I did, and you are not doing well.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Go away, you fool. All right, Jane doesn't want to split up with Tommy. She just wants to ruin Paul Brennan's life just for today. And also, would there be any chance that Tommy could set up a secret camera to record Paul Brennan having a chat with Jane, where she's going to get him to basically admit that Oisin sent the spy camera to Tommy trying to frame him.
Because she does say, like, this is your area of expertise.
Yeah.
And she's not wrong.
She's not. Jane also says very Rambo-esque line. She goes, "It's not only revenge, it's justice." Scene 2. See how fast I got on scene 2 there? Isn't that amazing? Scene 2, we're in the streets, Huey and Jackie. The music night that we don't know about because we didn't hear about any of it in the last episode.
I mentioned it.
Did you? The music night was a success. That was fronted by Anto.
Yeah.
You're over the garden wall again, I can see it. Eric, get us some tinfoil there and strewn it around the place.
Don't bother.
But there's one plot hole here, right? Anto did the music last night.
Actually, do you know what listening to you is like, for me?
Oh, what?
It's like when you're watching a movie with subtitles, and you've read ahead on the subtitles, and then you go, oh, I'm fucking sick of this.
You're a bad guy. Go away and have a nap for yourself, yeah?
I'd love a nap, but we have to do this shit.
Aye. Anto did the music.
Eric looks
in McCoy's, right?
really bad.
He didn't know that. Anto did.
He told us one thing.
Easy,
you have to stop shitting on the podcast.
Anto did the music. No, that was, he said you have to stop shitting in the studio. That was different. He was being literal.
But I've used the corner.
Anto did the music last night, but he's actually, you need to empty your litter tray as well before we go home today.
But that's your job.
Eric said he's walking out. Anto did the music last night.
He stepped in it last week.
Well, to be honest, like, how did he miss it? Anto did the music for this fucking thing in McCoy's.
Is it difficult when somebody keeps talking
Yeah,
over
because you're like a speech jammer. Anto did the music last night, but he's a postman.
Yeah.
And
postman can do more than one thing.
He got up at probably 5 o'clock, maybe, in the morning.
Yeah.
And he went on it, and he was out drinking the whole night. And he looks as fresh as a daisy.
He does. Anto, one of my favourite characters, I have to say.
Cass also makes reference to the music of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Cass is one of my favourite characters, I have to say that.
Scene 3, it's Steve, Nora, and Robbie. We're up to
Steve,
3
Nora,
scenes
Robbie.
already. 3 scenes already. Really getting through this. Steve, the guard, is bored with his...
You have it listed as Steve the G.
I know, yeah. Steve the G is bored with the 9-to-5 job he has now at the station, where he's just doing a lot... Roger, you honestly have a face in you of, like, I'm not even here in the room at the moment.
I am. Do you know what my big problem is? This morning I took...
I don't know, do we have time for that?
We have 15 minutes on my big problem. I took the drowsy Sudafed. I took the drowsy Sudafed instead of the non-drowsy.
You didn't?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
I just thought it might make things easier.
Robbie calls over to the house to drop off a colouring book as well to Jane.
Yeah.
And he just leaves immediately.
Oh, it's a comic book, I think.
Oh, I thought it was a colouring book.
Oh, maybe you're right.
It is a colouring book.
Yeah.
Nora says that she should talk to Steve. Tells Cara to talk to Steve because he's having some problems. And Cara says basically to F off.
Do you find that Nora doesn't know what side she's on?
Yeah, no, totally. And I'll get to that when I get through lots of the scenes in this and have a really succinct, concise description of every scene. Scene 4, we're in Vino's. It's Callum and Tessa. Tessa and Callum had sex, but Tessa thinks they're moving too fast. Weird. Charlotte then reveals that she was with Callum before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she.
She great.
And she, because Oisin says, "What would anyone see in Callum?" And then Charlotte says, "If you don't shut up, I'll tell you."
What do you think they're going on about there?
I think they're talking about.
Go on, say it.
Large penis.
A large penis.
A large penis, and that's just Oisin.
Which means
like that his phallus.
Yeah.
Is large, but all of it interesting.
Do you think it makes a difference to women?
Well, interesting fact for you.
Like hypothetically, like if you could imagine.
Interesting is I in a dating survey once I read that women actually don't place a lot of importance on men having a large penis, which is unfortunate for me. But like it's good news for you.
The ship has sailed on that joke.
Good news for you though, yeah.
Yeah.
Eric is making that sign where he takes his hand and does like the rolly.
I think that means you're talking too much about penises. There's tinfoil conspiracy here. They've brought back in the advertising. They've been a little bit quiet with the advertising as of late. They're just doing the usual stuff in the supermarket where they buy the same products and stuff. But
have you ever bought anything because of Fair City?
Yes.
What? And no, not the poster of Mairead. I'm talking about something else.
I don't like you saying that. No, because they buy...
It's a printout of Mairead from the Tesco ad.
They buy bread, and I only buy pita breads. And they buy milk, and I buy almond milk.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. Even though I did see in the supermarket that half price on the Halloween sweets.
Oh.
Yeah, since it's the 4th of November. Like.
That's actually very well thought out for the set designer.
You know what you would love? And we'll do it, right? When does Easter fall this year? No idea.
Next year.
Next
That's
year.
when it falls.
Right, grand. So Easter,
big Egypt.
Easter next year, right? It's the third week of November. Easter, Easter for this year.
Imagine if Jesus was born in December, but he'd already died in that November.
Imagine if Jesus was born.
Hey.
Doesn't exist, man.
Oh, come on now.
It's all a pigment of your imagination. It's the color red, man.
What?
I've lost my mind. Easter, right?
Neo,
don't buy
take the blue pill.
don't buy any Easter eggs for anyone. Don't buy any Easter eggs.
Why
right?
not?
Don't say you're going. This is what you do, right? You're crafty Scrooge, right? You say, oh, lads, I'm going to get you surprise Easter eggs, right? You're like, don't tell me which ones you want, right? Because you can't get tied into the actual ones you have to get.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday, head down to Tesco early. All Easter eggs reduced on Easter Sunday. You will clean up.
That's what Jesus died for, I think, isn't it? But here's something interesting for you: is do you?
I never got to this.
That's fine. Have you ever? I just read it, and lads, you're not missing out on anything. But
You're not meant to read my naughty you.
Do
I what?
Do you ever wish that they made?
You were dead. Yes. All
Let
the
me
time.
finish my sentence. Do you ever wish that they could that they'd make giant Cadbury's cream eggs just for Easter?
No, because I hate cream eggs.
What?
Yeah.
You hate cream eggs?
They're disgusting.
You hate creamy eggs?
The only thing I liked about cream eggs was the adverts that they had on before. They were brilliant.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me an example of a filled small egg that you like. Chocolate egg.
Is that what I got? All right, so we'll take Callum to the Wax Museum. I think that's actually after, but anyway. We'll take Callum to the Wax Museum and the Dead Zoo. They're advertising those two places.
The Dead Zoo?
Yeah.
What's the Dead Zoo?
No, we're advertising it. I assume that it's
Hey!
a museum of animals that are dead.
I went up with my girlfriend, who's a doctor. I don't really mention her much.
Never heard of her.
Last year or the year before or something, it all blended together after a while. We went up to Dublin to go see the bodies exhibition.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, were there being encased in like kind of plastic type, and it was material, and it was very interesting to see these bodies ripped to
Have you
pieces.
seen the? It's on YouTube, and I think it was in the Christmas lectures or something like that, where a guy gets a cadaver on stage and like cuts the whole thing up and shows everyone in like it's done in a lecture hall. Like there's a video of it on YouTube.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Sounds
like.
interesting.
They're-
The one
that
bad
guy
thing.
is dead.
What?
No, the fella is dead. Yeah, that they're cutting up.
Oh, I thought you were saying the guy who did it.
Scene 8, we're in Jane and Paul. Jane tries to seduce Paul by suggesting they could be shag buddies.
Man, you're not doing well.
What time is it?
You only 3 minutes.
I'll go away.
3 minutes.
Paul doesn't fall for the ruse straight away, right? Because Jane is trying to get Paul to admit that Oisin sent a spy camera.
Did you like Jane's comment here where she says, "Against my better judgment, I'm still very attracted to you."
Yeah, I did. Jane suggests that she will turn Oisin into the guards.
A lot of people have said that about you over the years.
Do you
Anyway,
know?
go on.
Do you know? I don't know how she turned Oisin into a guard.
Oh,
She wizard.
what?
Turn him into a guard. I'm just going to read this. I'm just going to read this as I noted it, right? Because I think it's important to get the feeling across of what I was feeling at the time. So they have a webcam that's on Tommy's laptop and it's filming the whole thing. So they can then show to Oisin that Paul
You've a minute and a half.
sold him down the Swanee, right? Sold Oisin down the Swanee. I say, Jesus Christ, the webcam filter they put on it to signify it being a webcam is hilarious. Again, it's a 1970s understanding of future technology that doesn't exist. But.
Yep.
I think it just reinforces what I can only generalise and completely stereotypically paint a brush over all old people, is that they think that the internet is full of weirdos.
Yeah.
And it gives them the part. It actually does, even though it's a webcam, it does the tape fuzz
Oh
thing
yeah,
on it.
yeah. Like, is it?
Was it? You had to tune in tapes before, didn't you?
Yeah, to get the.
The tape frequency, I think it's called. Well, I got to scene 8. How long do I have left?
You have a minute.
Well, I'll tell you, lads. At the
You have
end
a minute and a half, actually.
Oh, do I? All right, grand. Here we go now, lads. Here we go. Lads. Here we are. Oh God, look at all this. Scene 18. We're in
You've
Jane's.
just taken no notes for.
Jane's. We're in Tommy and Jane. No, we're in Jane's.
We're inside Tommy and Jane.
Oh, you'd love to be.
Things
in
are
there.
getting hot and heavy.
What was the name of the books where they were even a bit before our time? I'd say where they'd go. There were things
Inside
living
the
inside
body.
them. There was numbskulls, which was one thing, but
Yeah,
this was
yeah.
like a one of those.
More fleshed out world, like.
Yeah.
Ha.
You know. Oh, shut up. Jane breaks up with Tommy and calls him a loser.
Yeah.
Is that the end?
You have a minute left, so.
I don't.
If you want to go recap stuff.
What kind of time are you on?
Come on, go find some shit.
Oh, here, found one. His name is Roger. Scene
Hey,
15, we're in Jane's, right? Sean, Tommy, and Jane. They're watching the clip over and over in the bedroom. Tommy says they need to stop before it turns into feud. It's not as miserable.
Do you think that they're sexually aroused by that? Or Jane
What?
is. What?
About what?
About catching Paul out.
Sexually aroused.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a, oh yeah.
Where's your grounding on that?
I've caught Paul.
That's voyeurism.
What? That is not.
It is?
It is not.
I don't know what your question is or why you'd ask it, but do you think they're sexually aroused by catching a man in the act of grassing his son?
No, of catching him out in general.
What's
like
does catching arouse you? Catching people?
No, I'm
and putting them in vans?
No.
Would you have sex and read Trivial Pursuit questions, and then while the person you're having sex with gets them all wrong and you correct them, you come to climax?
I just want to write that
down. Oh, another history question, please. All right, so that's the end of episode 3. That's the end of episode 3. Raj, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling like a runaway freight train that's just fallen off the track.
Fantastic song for you, Eric Clapton and Elton John, Runaway Train.
Yeah.
Fantastic other song for you, Bob Seger, Runaway Train. Two classics there.
Are they the same song?
Nope, 2 different songs.
What do you think are the best 2 songs that share the same name, but they're both equally good?
I don't know. Can you name 2 songs that are the same that you really like that are both equally good?
Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy and Jailbreak by AC/DC.
Oh no, Jailbreak by AC/DC is way better.
Oh no way!
Oh, it's way better.
No way!
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
you're a joke.
Absolutely.
You're a fool.
No,
I've checked it up, and you're a fool.
Jailbreak by.
I've checked the online fool registration, and you are a fool, my friend.
Hey, there's nobody home here. Let's break into.
Hennessy's door spikes. When a burglar knocks on your door, they won't be getting up again.
Alright, so episode 4. It's broadcast on Thursday, 8th of November. Take it away.
Okay, so Paul, first description right now.
Oh, you're doing the description. So that means you're now in the RTE canteen, you're up on the table, you start stripping, you start covering yourself in kitchen oil, and you start smothering, or you start pouring a box of Coke Pops all over you until someone gives you the description.
Remember when we were in Tesco before and we were doing that and we were kicked out of straight away?
What was the oil we were using again?
Oh, it was actually just labelled as Tesco vegetable oil, but when we looked at the back, it was actually rapeseed oil.
Do you know what my mother said to me before? She said, "Oh, I'll get you stuff in the shop there now. Just give me a shopping list." So when I was living at home and brutally unemployed, and I wrote down a shopping list, and I handed it to her, and she goes, "I am not getting that," and it was extra virgin olive oil. She thought I was joking. All right, go on. Read the description.
Very good. So, Paul alienates himself from Callum, defending Oisin and escalating his row with Jane. As Carol's feud with Hayley worsens, Robbie demands that she step back from the station. You missed loads of Carol being sour.
Oh, I know. She was sour for the whole episode.
Oh, my God. Scene 1.
Do you know what I find very confusing, though, in this? Is that Carol is being, horrible to Robbie, and Robbie is, relationship is suffering, he's being caught out, and he just loves Hayley. But a week ago, he was going to break Lee's legs.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how we can feel sorry for him.
Wouldn't that be a really good wedding? And it's at it,
Lee's legs.
Robbie gets up. No, Robbie gets up and goes, "I remember the first time I got involved with this family. I was going to break Lee's legs.
Yeah.
But now I'd only break his nose. Or it'd be some sort of joke like that. Yeah.
Cool.
So we're in scene 1. There, listen, right. I was just trying my best.
How many minutes are you in now? And it's still scene 1.
I think you keep asking me to do time checks to slow me down. Scene 1. That is it.
No.
Scene 1, we're in Jane's house. Jane's annoyed as Tommy calls round, and oh jeez, I can't make head out of this. Tommy basically is told.
Did you do is this the thing where you watch with your eyes closed?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it?
No, I was paying attention. I watched this morning, but I don't remember it. Tommy basically tells Jane that he just wants her to they have video footage of Paul Brennan confessing, and he just wants that to be used as mild blackmail to get Oisin to apologise and then just drop everything. But Jane wants to release it online because she's thinking she could get those. She actually wants to send it to You've Been Framed.
And Jeremy Beadle.
Yeah, and she's thinking that she could get
€250 if you send in a tape. We send in a tape.
Oh yeah. Well, what would the
do you have any oil left, and we can throw you down the stairs or something?
Probably a bit of oil left. Extra version.
We just have to make sure that your injuries are less than €250, and then we'll make money on it.
Actually,
to be honest, right, if we could injure you up to €240, and then we'd have €10 left for special chip days.
Oh, that's really good. I like the sound of that. But maybe we could both.
We'll do you first. You try it first, and if it works out, then I I might do it a few weeks after then.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like the last time where you told me you didn't have the camera on and you didn't own a camera.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember the last time you pushed me down the stairs and you said that you were going to do that?
Oh no, there was no tape in the camera.
Yeah, but then you told me, so I forgot to buy a camera.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought it was actually in my hands, but it was still in PC World. So, what scene? She's seen 2 already. 5 minutes in.
Scene 2. We're outside the laundrette. What happens here is that Huey's being chased by Anto and the lads, and they're trying to convince him. You gotta save your relationship. You gotta give in to Jackie's demands to modernise McCoy's, and he says never. And then he pushes past somebody in the laundrette who I've never seen before in my absolute fucking life. Scene 3, we're in Carol's house.
There's 2 needless words there.
Scene 3, we're in Carol's house. Steve complains about his job, and Carol says to go over the heads of his bosses, who, by the way, are just probably the head Garda Síochána in Dublin. And then he tells her that he actually has done that, and now he's being transferred to Limerick. And she's like, what? Limerick? And also,
no, I don't think he went over their heads.
No. But she is saying, like, just forget what they're doing and just go do your own thing. And he's like, I have done that. I've applied for a job in Limerick, and he's gotten it.
I was out on Friday, and there was a lad next to me, and I won't mention his name because I can't, because it would be really bad. But we were chatting away, and we're all having about 10,000 drinks.
Yeah.
And he whips out his wallet to pay for a drink. He's a guard.
No.
Yeah, and the badge is unbelievably shiny. It's actually pretty impressive.
Really? Did you take his badge number?
Yeah, did you?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We could use that.
I'll put it up online.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Do it as you will.
Do you know? Back in the day, it used to be a thing where
Studio main lights just went off.
That's very interesting.
That's unnerving.
Yeah. Is your... Oh yeah, I was going to say that there is a... they haven't been paying the electricity bill because they've been trying to spend all their money on promoting us.
Eric, get onto electricity there and see what the hell you're after doing.
How scary would it be now?
He's probably after spending it on all the sauce last night.
If it all went dark in there, and then when it came back up and Eric was dead.
Should we tell everyone about Eric's horrible gambling addiction? Probably not.
No,
Alright, cool. He's on the online bingo games.
That's a very, very... that's a very crippling addiction to make light of there, Dennis. That gets people. That ruins lives.
Yeah. You're still on scene 4 though.
So scene 4, we're in Vino's. Doug offers to help Erica set up in the community centre. She's doing a pop-up nail salon thing.
Roger,
to
are you
get new
dancing
customers.
while you're reading out the notes?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some blood flowing through my body. I'm worried that I might have frostbite on my fingertips, or maybe I'm just dying. And then Erica still kind of doesn't really trust Doug, but she reluctantly agrees to let him set stuff up. But she is pretty sure that this is going nowhere. Scene 5.
If you or anyone else can't make any sense of this, please call this number.
We're in the unnamed shop. Carol is chatting to Nora about Steve moving away, and then Hayley happens to hear this.
Roger, you're starting to rock.
Oh, I really am. Hayley butts in and says, what's this? Steve's running away. It seems to me like all the guys that you like are just running the opposite direction. And then Carol flies off the handle.
Did you ever hear about World War One?
Yeah.
There was some anniversary for it or something lately there. I can't remember how long it was. 3 or 4 years since World War One. But
yeah.
I was reading about the difference between this is on Reddit again. I can't remember the subreddit, but anyway. I was reading about the difference between PTSD then and PTSD now.
Mm-hmm.
And so back then, a lot of the symptoms were like people would go deaf when they weren't deaf. Like they'd convince themselves that they were deaf. Blindness when they're not like technically blind at all. And all these kind of things, and tremors and all sorts of stuff. And they realized later on then that a lot of these guys had traumatic brain injuries, but they were being treated for shell shock. And it's very hard for us to understand how bad it was for these lads in the trench listening to the artillery. But there is a video on YouTube, and if you look up World War One artillery drums, what they used to do was for days before they'd attack to drive the soldiers mental. Like obviously they were getting rid of barbed wire and stuff by shelling, but to drive the soldiers insane was they would fire them at different times, so it would have a drum beat to it.
Really?
Yeah. So it would basically be driving people bananas. Like,
are you gonna go see that documentary?
By Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
What's the name of that? They never grow old or something. Or
something like that, or they will never grow old.
Yeah, that's where he gets black and white footage from World War One. They turned it, colorized it, was it?
But it's more than colorization.
Did they lip read it?
Yeah, they used forensic lip readers to work out what the people were saying, and then they get actors to voice over it. But the restoration is unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
it. It looks insane.
There's also there is a movie out with Kurt Russell's son in it. and it's meant to be like unofficially Wolfenstein the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's meant to be equals parts terrible and equal parts brilliant.
That sounds really good. I have to say, at this stage, I cannot see anything in here. It's gone pitch dark.
Yeah, Eric's having a bit of a canary inside, and to be honest, I hope to God that everything is still being recorded. But I'm sure, Eric, you have another backup system there for us.
Yeah, because there's no way we're going to record this again.
There's no way you'd let us down that way, Eric, would you? Go on, then.
He's disappeared. Outside McCoy's now, Huey puts his foot down about the menu and says, "There's no way I'm going to change the menu." Jackie gets mad at him and runs off. He's ruined his own relationship. Scene 8, Eric and Dara.
You think Huey's ruined his relationship?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Jackie is trying to make him do loads of things that he doesn't want to do, though.
But he doesn't want to do them out of stubbornness.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think it's as simple as that, no.
Really?
No, really, yeah. She wants him to change his pub to suit what she wants.
But
pretty much. Like.
Well, yeah, but I have to get to stand up for Jackie. It started by the very start of this week. Huey was upset about McCoy's because he thought it was doing bad business-wise, and he said he needs to change it up. Mm-hmm. So he's brought it on himself.
But I think that his problem was that he started to think that Jackie wants to improve him. And build him into a picture of the man that she wants and not the man that he currently is.
Well, that's not what Jackie actually thinks, though. But he is thinking that. He's projecting.
That's how it makes him feel, Roger. Yeah. That's how I feel, Roger. Go on, yeah.
What?
Scene 9? Scene
9, we're in the unnamed shop.
The unnamed shop is a crime black spot.
It is, yeah.
They should just have 2 guards inside there all the time.
A lot of stuff going on.
Have Steve and John inside there. Just disguise them as loaves of bread.
They're just...
or is it loaves? I assume it's loaves.
Loaves.
It's not loaves, sure it's not.
The loaves and the fishies.
What?
That's that famous biblical story.
Who was that again? That was
Jesus.
No, it wasn't. It was
Jesus did that.
It was Eamon de Valera in Civil War in 1921.
That's true, and he was going around. What he did was he took a treaty and he tore little bits off the treaty and he fed everyone with little pieces of that treaty.
When was the Civil War? Was that 1922? 21 was independence. Oh, I can't remember.
It was 21 to 23, wasn't it?
I don't know. Go on.
Anyway, scene 9, unnamed shop. Callum asks Jane why he broke up with. What? Oh yeah, no.
Oh, brilliant.
No.
Ned fucking Bry. That's my favourite quote from Mike Collins' film.
Those notes.
Michael, where the fuck have you been?
Those notes make no sense, right? Basically, eventually, Tommy brokers.
The wheels have fallen off.
Tommy brokers a peace deal with Oisin, and Oisin apologises to Jane, and Tommy promises that he's never going to show the footage of Paul Brennan confessing to anyone. Scene 10, we're in the community centre. Lee and Charlotte. Oh, I missed a bit earlier on where Erica and Dara have signed up for the same dating website.
What's it called?
They didn't give it a name.
What do you think Fair City writers would call it?
Oh, Blinder.
Blinder,
yeah.
Fair enough. The War of Independence was 1919 to 1921, and then the Civil War kicked off after that.
Okay, yeah. So
and that was 22 to 23.
They're not counting any conflicts during 1921.
No, up to July 11th. Then they took a few months off. So we'll kick it off again then.
Oh, it was like the off season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
They had to go back and farm.
Scene 12, we're in the station house. Carol and Steve have another argument. He's going off to Limerick and they're going to try long distance for a while. Have you ever had a long distance relationship?
Have I had a long distance relationship? No. Have you?
No. Yeah, the length of my penis.
Roger. You love that one.
Yeah, that was funny. Look at Eric. If I could see him, I'm sure he'd be laughing.
If we weren't covered in darkness.
Yeah, I'm so mad at
maybe the money's just ran out.
That would be so.
Last of the week.
They've acquired us and out of money.
I'm not telling anyone if we get kicked out of the studio. Not a hope.
No way. Scene. They won't move us. We shall not be moved. Scene 13. Outside, loads of stuff happens. Jackie again says, Huey, you've ruined the relationship. I'm heading away. And then Anto is with the lads, and Huey walks over to them, and Anto's overheard all this.
We had to do a play before.
Oh, don't do this now.
On the environment, and we had to sing that song, but we were dressed up as Stone Age people or something, and we had to sing that song over and over again. And we had to link arms, and there was a speech and drama teacher, and she thought it was brilliant, and we all hated it.
It does sound brilliant, but you were a Philistine.
What was the best part you ever played in a school play?
Best part, I was a police officer in Sweeney Todd.
Really? What was your line?
I didn't have a line.
Oh, you didn't know. You're a background
I
guy.
just had to hold the guy while he was being sentenced.
What were you in a nativity play?
Yeah. In the nativity play, I was once, and I'm going to use a phrase that one of our teachers used. You'll be one of those Arabs.
No way.
Yeah.
Where were they in the nativity play?
They were just walking around.
We just had Christmas trees instead. Like
Really? Our one was like kind of gritty.
the best.
You're ruining me, Dennis.
Best part I had in a
Scene
play
17. We're in the
was a
station
woman
house.
dancing.
We're in the station house. Tommy and Jane make amends, but still disagree on how they should end their revenge with Paul.
And to sum up the episode in one word,
Wait, no, Jane offers.
you've only 3 seconds. And that's the end of all the episodes, Raj.
That's
Baby, give it up. Do you like Casey and the Sunshine Band?
no,
You don't like any disco, I'd say, do you?
no. I don't think I do like that. Oh, Boney M. Do they count as disco?
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I like Boney M.
Rasputin?
Yeah, I love
You like that
Rasputin.
old Daddy? Do you like Daddy Cool?
I do like Daddy Cool. Yeah. Do you
great.
remember that was in a My Waddy advert when we were younger?
I don't.
Maybe it wasn't. No, it was in a car advert.
Maybe I have a fever.
I think I do.
Do you like? Do you prefer Maiwadi or Kiora?
Kiora?
Really?
Yeah. What about you?
I always thought that for some reason that Kiora was Irish. It's not, I assume.
I don't know. I don't think so.
The Kiora ads were pretty mental before.
Kiora. Just for
It's-
me and my dog.
It's like we're in the ad. All right, so how are you feeling at the end of all those 4
I
episodes?
feel
now?
will you take me to the hospital?
You're going to start crying.
Will you put IV spicy chippies on me?
I'd say that we're probably not going to get out of the studio because it's all swipe in around here and the
Didn't
electricity's
you say
gone.
it's airlocked?
Yeah, it is airlocked, yeah. All right, so what's the title of that episode since you've closed down all your notes?
The title of that episode is Let's Focus on Your Dating Profile.
Very nice. If you had to have your one tagline for your dating profile to attract all the females, what would it be?
It would be sensitive, 6 foot tall,
Sensitive, 6 foot tall man looking for.
women.
Well, at least they know what you're in for. All right, so thanks very much for listening to us again. Who knows? The lights are gone off here, so we might be back in my apartment next week, but hopefully not. Well, do you have any gigs coming up this week? We've got a big whopper of a gig
Cracker of a
in
gig.
Ballincollig in the Black Sheep Comedy Club, which
On
we both run.
Friday.
And Roger is going to be emceeing that one, and it's
Yep.
with Tom Bearmani from the Buckshot podcast.
Fellow podcaster.
Yeah, we've also got Aidan Green, who's a fantastic comedian, and Ruth Hunter, who is equally as fantastic.
Yeah, 2 excellent comedians there. If I feel this bad on Friday,
No, Roger. No, you're hosting that now, dead or alive, on Friday.
Well, no, what I was going to say is I will host it. That's definitely approved. But
You're just saying you'll ruin it if
it
you're
would
sick.
be like in the scene in Alan Partridge where he has to present a conference after losing a pint of blood from his foot.
Oisin had one of the best, closest Alan Partridge lines I've heard.
What was it?
Where he says, Jane comes up to him and says, "Oh, hey, Oisin, blah, blah," or something. And he's just staring straight ahead and he goes, "Get out, hag."
Considered by many as the holy grail of all MREs.